But we were not happy with that, as you are. I don't know what the judge is thinking. Until just recently, we had never had a bond go from 200,000 cash only down to a recognizance bond in a murder case. It's just unheard of.
Okay.
So I'm as flabbergasted as you are, but he is the judge and he sets the bonds, and he can pretty much do whatever he wants to do.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm as you know, very disturbed that someone charged with a violent crime, especially against my dad, was released. So you're saying that Blake Schindler actually asked for drug treatment?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what the motion was for, was to allow him to go to a place in Rolla that I had never heard of. The judge said he'd heard of it, and to go into a 28-day rehab program. Now, why you're sending somebody to a 28-day rehab program when they're facing a 30-year murder charge is another question that I cannot answer. So
yeah.
Like I said, we were flabbergasted. I thought he might take the cash only off, or he might drop it down to 100,000 cash only, or something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, we were just beside ourselves when he did this. What aggravates me more than anything is they got a bond reduction, but we didn't set it for trial. Why don't we go ahead and set it for trial? Why give him a bond reduction? Let's do the trial and find out, if a jury is going to convict him, and then he can go to the Department of Corrections and they can put him in drug treatment. I do not understand the logic, and Judge Wood is the judge, and he's not going to explain it to anybody. In June is when things start coming back up on his setting docket, and we're going to just start asking for trials. Now, like I said, I don't know what he's going to do for trials once he gets down to September and October before he has to leave.
Right.
But that might force him to say, well, I can't hear this in time, or something like that. I just don't know. But we're ready to go to trial. We could go to trial in July, because we're ready.
You mentioned to me a threatening message the night before.
Yeah, he wouldn't tell me where it was from, or who it was from, or what it was about, but he said he had it under control. But I could tell it took his head away from the conversation we were having to where he forgot what he was even talking about. You know what I mean?
Well, will you tell me that story again? I can't quite remember it.
Yeah, we was just sitting there on the porch.
And this is the night before, right?
Yeah, it's the night before. It's probably 7:30 at night.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there drinking beer, and we were just talking, laughing, having a good time. And all of a sudden, he got a message, and I was still talking. He was reading the message. And when I got done talking, he had no idea what I said. It was someone's message. I go, "What's wrong, Kenny? You get a bad, message or something?" He goes, "Just some people trying to fuck with me." I said, "Well, who is it? Tell me." He goes, "No, it's not a big deal. I got to take care of."
Okay.
So people trying to scare him, And this is as he sat there with a 9mm in his shorts,
Oh man.
He had a gun in his underwear, all the time, So.
I recall. Did you tell me that after Dad was looking at that text message, he said to you, if anything should happen to me tonight, it was
right.
So he said that?
He said that. That's what still keeps me up every night and blows my mind, and that's why I can't make no sense of this. If he would have said that, I would have just accepted the way things are. But I mean, he said that, man, it just blows my mind.
Why do you think he would have said that?
I have no idea, but I know that, and I told him, I said, Kenny, I go, they're not going to come kill you, And he said, well, if you show up here and I'm dead, it was
Oh, shit.
Lo and behold, that's, I show up.
Yeah.
Just, the scene was bad, it took some time. They were there. They put some time into that, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Tell me.
It just happened real fast, well, the way he was tied up, it was his arm, he was tied up to where the extension cord was coiled around his arms several times. It looked like it was some kind of professional, way to tie a knot or to tie somebody up. It just looked like somebody spent some time on it, you know what I'm saying? They weren't in and out. It looked like they were there for a while. And he was hog tied. He was in nothing but his boxers.
Okay.
And he was face down when I found him, eyes wide open, staring at the front door.
But he was face down?
He was face down with his chin. Well, his chin was on the floor.
Okay.
Looking up.
Yeah.
On his stomach with his chin on the floor.
Yeah.
Looking up. I mean, when I walked to the door, it was like he was staring at me.
Yeah. So how were his hands connected to his feet?
His hands were down to his side, pulled around to the back, but not all the way to the back, because I guess the shape of his body just couldn't reach his feet, I guess, from the back.
Okay.
But it was really tight. It was probably his feet were curled up behind him, and then his hands were tied up, and they were just tied to what his feet were tied up with a cord.
Okay.
Extension cord or phone cord.
Okay.
But,
were his hands tied together, or they were down at his sides?
No, his hands weren't tied together. They were tied to his, behind his back, but they weren't actually touching. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
They were separated a little bit.
And they were definitely tied to his feet.
Tied up with a cord.
And were his hands tied to his feet?
Yeah.
Because I am getting different information apparently from the police that he was not hogtied.
He was definitely hogtied.
Yep. All right.
He was very, very tied up. I mean, that's the, I was there probably 20 minutes with him before I finally, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to call, if to call the cops. I didn't know what to do, because of what he had told me, I was like, well, what do I do? So I called my grandmother first and said, Grandma, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm going to attempt to call the police now. I just wanted to let you know something before.
Yeah.
I did that, to let you know what was going on in case I won't be able to talk to you again or something.
Yeah. And I think you told me that, you told me that you took photos, or did you take video too with your phone?
I took a video with my phone. They took my phone.
Yep. Did Franklin County Police take your phone, or did the Major K Squad take your phone?
The Major K Squad took my phone, actually.
Okay.
Franklin County actually took it from me, but I had to sign it out to the Major K Squad for them to take my phone.
Okay. How long were you on the property while the police were there?
I was there for about 20. I was there 20 minutes, called the cops. It took them about 10 minutes to get there. And then after that, it was probably a half hour, 45 minutes. I was standing in the driveway while they shuffled around outside.
Right.
And nobody went inside to check on him or nothing, And I said, hey, can somebody go inside, check for a pulse? I'm not an EMT. I don't know. I checked, but I could be wrong,
Yeah. Was Jason Grellner there?
No, but the police, the cops said we're not supposed to go inside per Jason Grellner.
Okay.
I heard him say that.
Yeah. Okay. Was Gary Tolkey there?
No.
Okay.
Not at the time, no.
Okay.
Briggs was, and the task force, and everybody. Grumler and Tolkey was not there.
When you say the task force, who was the task force?
But Briggs and their little undercover.
Is it the drug
squad?
The drug.
Like four.
The drug task force?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was definitely weird. Them showing up there, everyone just seemed kind of like, I don't know if it was just me or what, but it just seemed kind of non-emergency or something. You know what I mean? Kind of.
I don't know.
I figured there would have been an ambulance there. There was no ambulance.
Yeah.
Nothing, called. I don't even think. No kind of medical,
Yep. Whenever I know you were taken in to the sheriff's office, and I guess were booked regarding a failure to pay speeding ticket or something.
Yeah.
Did you tell me that you saw?
I did see there, yes.
And what did you see?
He was, when I was coming into the airlock, okay, they got an airlock, you got to come in one door, then you wait for that door to close, and you come in another one into the jail.
Mm-hmm.
He was in there high-fiving another cop. I don't know, what it was about, but he looked super happy.
Yeah.
And I thought that was just really weird. Because, I'm sure he would have heard about it by then, I'm sure he would have been one of the first people to hear about it.
Okay. Not that I want to put myself through any more hell than I'm already going through. I just want to make sure that all the evidence that can be gathered is gathered, and I feel concerned that I have a statement from Blake Cruz that there was, in fact, a message on my dad's phone that my dad said to Blake that evening he was concerned something was going to happen that night, and Cody Causey, who's looking at the data from the phone, is telling me that there's no message. And so now we've got
the police are going through all that stuff now. I have told them to concentrate on everything 2 days before up to the date of the crime to see if there's anything coming in there. They have not gotten me back to that.
Okay.
But I don't know. We have talked to Blake Cruz. I think he's telling you one thing and he's telling us something else.
Well, that's very frustrating, and I wonder what I can do about that.
I do not know.
I'm going to go.
I honestly do not know.
So Blake did not repeat to you what I'm telling you he said to me?
I have nothing in the reports where he said anything like that.
All right. I'm going to go get in Blake's face then. Okay.
That's your prerogative.
You remember the part about how, I told the prosecutor that you said this. You said what Dad said. And the prosecutor is telling me that in your statements, you did not say that.
I sure did. I told them education squad did. I told them that straight to their face.
Yeah. And
I wrote it down on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
And gave it to them as a statement.
Yeah.
Word for word.
Fucking Bob Parks, man.
Yeah, I told him that. I go, I know this stuff sounds crazy, and I told him that, I said, I know this sounds crazy, but this is what he told me.
Yeah. And the thing that pisses me off is I figured out Dad's code on his phone. And I so that is how the cybercrimes division in St. Charles was able to get into his phone, break into his phone. So, they have the messages, but the thing that pisses me off is after, St. Charles got into the phone, they passed, all the further investigation of the data to a detective at the Franklin County Sheriff's Department. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, I know, right?
And I talked on the phone with the detective at the Franklin County Sheriff's Department who was looking at Dad's data. And I told him that I had heard that there were some possibly threatening messages the night before. And this detective said that he didn't see any such messages.
There would have been all kinds of, all the questions you're asking me about him and these guys, that would all be on his phone.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that,
So, one thing I was wondering is, I heard from the friend who found Dad that he was with Dad the night before, and that he said my dad got a disturbing message on his phone the night before that made him worried something was going to happen that night. And so
I didn't see anything like that. I don't know if he deleted it. I don't know if he, if it was something that I'm not seeing because I don't know the context.
Yeah.
But there was nothing that I found that just straight up said, okay, this is odd. You know what I mean?
All right.
So I don't know if he could have deleted it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, it may or may not be a text message. It may or may not be a Facebook message.
It could have been Facebook Messenger because I didn't have access to that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I mean, I'm sure you know how it works with that. You have to log in from whatever device, and then that's stored on their end. And there was no preservation or search warrant done for Facebook or any kind of social media.
Oh, really? Because Captain Subke told me that there was a preservation order given to Facebook. Are you telling me that's not true?
Well, that's probably for the suspects, maybe. Again, he knows more about it than I do because he worked with Major Case a little bit. I did not. I did not personally do that, and that's what I'm speaking of. If there was, I have no knowledge. And then that extended to then processing all of your dad's stuff. And then, but there was nothing for social media. It was just for the physical data on the phones. And then when you unlocked or had that passcode for your dad's phone, then that was opened up, copied, and then I went through that. There was just normal messages and whatnot. Now, it did show that there was, like the app activity.
Yeah.
It'll save that on the phone end, but from there, it wasn't, to my knowledge, at least I didn't do it, go from there and say, okay, well, it says he logged in and used his, Facebook Messenger at X time and X date. Okay, now I'm going to petition, and request that transcript from Facebook. I never did that. I wasn't directed to do that, and I assumed that if that was done, that would have been done by like Major Case and stuff.
Okay. I, at this time, see a copy of the report that your department created on the case.
Because I read the report. Did it ever go to trial or anything yet?
It has not gone to trial. Therefore, it's not disposed. But the report is in the hands of both the prosecution and the defense. Therefore, the defense has had time to do their discovery.
Okay. Do you know anything what's going on with the case, ma'am?
I do. It's just all very, very, very slow. I mean, there are 3 people charged, and every few weeks they have a hearing date in court, and so far it's always a continuance, or basically has been as of yet no trial date set. And so the family just keeps waiting and waiting for the trial date to get set, unless one of the defendants decides to change their plea. I mean, we just don't know.
Are they still in custody?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Well, actually, 2 of the 3 are in custody. All 3 are charged with second-degree murder. Judge Wood, on May 2nd, let one of them out. Even though this guy didn't post a penny of his $200,000 bail bond. The judge chose to let him out on his own recognizance, even though he is charged with murder, and I found that quite shocking and unbelievable. So yeah.
Any reason given on that?
I don't know that you would call this a reason, but what the judge did was he ordered Blake Schindler to attend a 28-day inpatient drug treatment program while wearing a GPS ankle bracelet. And after he finishes that program, he's to be under house arrest. And, there are many things I don't understand about this because Blake sat in the county jail for 6 months drying out. I also understand that the place where he went to inpatient treatment was a facility for 12 to 18-year-olds, or 12 to 17-year-olds, and he's 18. As you can tell from the way I'm speaking, I'm flabbergasted and not happy that he's not behind bars. So anyway.
And have you been in touch with the prosecutor down there in Franklin County?
Yes, I have. I talked.
What they told you?
They said that they vehemently, regarding Blake Schindler in particular, they said they vehemently objected to Judge Wood's action of letting Blake out from behind bars on his own recognizance, and that there was nothing they can do about it. That the judge has the authority.
Okay, let me make a couple phone calls. Who's the prosecutor on this case?
Bob Parks.
Is it Parks?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you asked him for a copy of the report?
I did, but he said that I would have to go through you guys.
Okay. Let me make a couple phone calls and get formal approval for the prosecutor's office.
Okay.
And I'll set something up for you. I will call you back and let you know what the final decision is.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Okay?
Thank you.
No problem, man.
Okay.
Okay, take care.
You
Bye.
too. Bye-bye. Cool. Finally, I've left him messages for like the last 3 weeks.